returned to YouTube. I hope what is allergies, but my throat is a little clogged, my nose is stuffy. That probably means I'm getting a cold because I was traveling. San Diego Comic-Con was last weekend. This is the first time I ever attended San Diego Comic-Con. Went from the East Coast to the West Coast. That is a long-ass flight, I can tell you that right now. Yeah, so I've been to the Boston Comic-Con because I live in Boston. I've been there. I think the last time I was there was 4 years ago. So this was my first experience on the West Coast. This is the furthest into the United States I have ever been. Basically, what I want to tell you in this video is my experience in San Diego, my experience at San Diego Comic-Con, the trip as a whole, and just what it was like to be there. And I definitely, there were three of us that went from the Cinemania page on Facebook. There were three of us that went. I'm a part of that page. My friends Dwayne and Christina, we went. And I gotta say, we had a blast. For newbies to San Diego Comic-Con, for people that flew halfway across the country on a 5-hour flight, man, your ass hurts after that flight. We had a lot of fun, despite some issues with the Comic-Con, at least issues that I had. But this was a hell of a trip, hell of a blast. I can tell you right now, none of us wanted to leave. None of us wanted to come back to the East Coast. I'm still on West Coast time. And I'm recording this on Thursday. My last video was my review of Crawl, which was about 2 weeks ago. So the fact that I'm starting to get back into the kick of things, the fact that I have finally returned, the fact that I'm doing this with hopefully allergies and not a cold, and just says a lot. On this entire trip, I got a little thinner, my beard grew a little thicker, and we just had a blast. Just seeing the fact that there's people dressed up as pop culture icons and an exhibit hall full of all this nerd shit that we would get made fun of if we went to one of these in like 1999 or like 2000 or something. But now that it's 2019 and nobody really cares, it was just an experience fulfilled. And we got in as press, so we didn't have to pay. The only thing you really had to pay for is the Uber and food, if you didn't bring your own snacks. I mean, that's expected. But I mean, this exhibit hall, though, just ginormous. It probably took about 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other, and then 20 minutes to walk back. So you're looking probably at a total of 40 minutes, because it's just so jam-packed full of people that you can barely walk in there. And everybody's stopping and walking all at the same time, because all of the booths are just to the right and left of you. There's just lines everywhere. That's kind of one of my problems with the exhibit hall, to be honest with you. The fact that it feels like it's a little overcrowded. I know that they've had problems with overcrowding in the past, but the fact that I just saw so many things on display that reminded me of all these pop culture icons, of all the superheroes, of all the comic books. It was just a sight to behold. Yeah, it was a little tedious to walk through the crowd. It was easy to get lost in there. I feel like you just gotta time it right, and we know what to expect for next year when we go back, because I'm definitely going back. I don't know about any of them. I'm going back. Definitely going back. But the exhibit hall was really cool, and then because we were press, we were assigned a press room, so we got to chill out a little bit in the press room. And I got to meet some really cool people. Like, I met Jay Washington. Like, that dude's the man. He was really bitching about the Cats trailer, which I thought was hilarious. Even went to the movie Trivia Schmodown. Like, I have the Schmodown t-shirt on right now. And this is really the only thing I spent money on. It was this t-shirt and a Schmodown poster. And then a comic book. That was it. It's not something like a casino that's going to suck your soul and make you waste all your money so that you have nothing left when you get home. No, I still think I have a good chunk of money left. The only thing I really spent my money on was food and Uber. I mean, those are expected expenses when you go on a trip like this, when you go to a big convention center and you don't bring snacks, which I did one day because I knew we were going to be in Hollish all day. But like food and Uber, I mean, those are expected expenses. Like those things, there's no way around them. you know. So there is a way around not paying for anything you see in here. I mean, just look at stuff and just tell yourself, I can't buy that. Because a lot of stuff in here is super goddamn expensive. There was a video game booth that was selling vintage video games, like Nintendo 64 games. Super Smash Brothers, they were selling Super Smash Brothers for $400. I literally can get Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64, which I still have to. I never had Super Smash Brothers. I don't know how. I can get that game for $25 on eBay. Why waste $400 on Super Smash Brothers when I can just go online and get it for $25? It's like you can get all this stuff for so much less. But I think it's because everybody thinks it's like rare and collectible that they just jack up the price on you. However, security there, though, they are completely goddamn clueless. You ask them, we had no idea there was a separate press line to get into Hall H until Sunday. So when we were asking them where the press line is, we had like 4 people tell us they didn't know. Like, how is that possible? Do they like have a meeting? Like, if people are asking where the press line is, shouldn't they know? Like, you're not briefed on this before one of the biggest events of the year. We waited for Thursday. We waited in line to get into Terminator. We got there at like probably 8:30. We got in after Terminator started. We were there for the Terminator panel, so yeah, it was awesome seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was awesome seeing Tim Miller. It was awesome seeing Linda Hamilton. It was awesome seeing the rest of the cast of Terminator and the new footage that they showed. They didn't really show much with the footage, just an extended trailer kind of. But then when like Arnold Schwarzenegger comes on stage, and then you have Conan O'Brien come on the stage after that with a surprise guest, Tom Cruise. You're sitting way in the back and the stage is just way out there, and you have to record or you have to take pictures of what's on the screen instead of what's at the stage because you're so far back. Yeah, if we had been press, we would have been closer. I would have actually seen Tom Cruise closer. It would have been awesome. We would have actually seen Schwarzenegger closer. But yeah, they don't really know where a press line is. They just know where press standby is. So they kept telling us to go there, and then we finally figured it out, and somebody's like, well, no, this is like the assigned seating line. And we're like, they told us press was here. We're like, no, this is the assigned seating line. But they let us in, luckily. That was on Sunday. The other 2 days, we waited in line. Like, we wanted to get into the Witcher panel on Friday. We waited a good 3.5 hours. We were literally in line. Like, the line kept moving, but then the way they do it is, like, they have 4 different lines that are, like, chutes, so they send you in at different times, but Hall H must have reached full capacity, and so we didn't go in for the longest time, so we missed the Witcher panel, but we got into Dark Crystals, and was there something else that day? I don't think there was something else that day. But we did Dark Crystals. That was cool seeing Mark Hamill and Taron Egerton, Elton John, and Luke Skywalker themselves. That was awesome. We didn't get into Hall H on Saturday because it had filled up early in the morning for all the people sleeping overnight, waiting all day on Friday to get into the Marvel panel. Which, why would you do that? Like, you're gonna waste a day and a half just to wait in the Hall H line for a panel. And I just think the whole Hall H line is really disorganized. I think that they should have lines for separate panels. Like, if you want to do a Terminator, if you wanted to get into Terminator Dark Fate, here's the line for Terminator Dark Fate. If you can't get in, that means it's filled up. That's how it should work. Here's the line for The Witcher. You can go in. It shouldn't be something where you have to wait all day. You can still do that, but it shouldn't be something where you have to wait all day. It should be separate lines for separate programs. And then if you don't get in, then you can try and go to another program. You know, it's something like that. I think that kind of needs to be an issue that's resolved, but at least we know what to expect. And you'll probably hear me say that phrase, we know what to expect, a lot in this video. But I mean, the worst part of the trip, though, definitely the Amazon Prime experience. We saw a cool stunt show. I'll say that. There was a stunt show going on. My friend Christina, she knew somebody who was in the stunt show, so he got us in backstage before the general public was allowed in. So we got to see the stunt shows, and we waited in line for this Expanse experience. That's how I got this tattoo. I don't know if you can, yeah, there you go. It's a fake tattoo, but I don't think it's coming off, so it's probably permanent. Man, like, they were short shows, but they were really good, but we waited in line for this experience for The Expanse. It's an Amazon Prime exclusive. It's a show on Amazon Prime. I guess it's in its 4th season now. Never saw a single second of it. But we're just waiting in line. We wait in line for about 40 minutes. And we do something that takes literally 5 minutes. It's not worth waiting in line that long. Like, that was honestly the worst part. It was complete bullshit. You can listen to our podcast. I'll drop the link below. I literally describe it as feeling like I was in a first-person video game for that, which kind of felt cool, but then it's just like that, it's over. Like, snap of the fingers, it's over. And I just don't understand how you wait in line for 40 minutes to do something that takes 5 minutes, and then it takes them 15 minutes to get ready. Like, do they have to get back into place? Do they have to make sure everybody is out? Like, I just really didn't understand that. A lot of the cosplay was awesome. The best cosplay I saw was Macho Man, just going around holding a championship belt, yelling, "I'm coming for you!" to everybody he saw. You know, if that was me and I was cosplaying as Macho Man, I would just be like, "I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime." I just realized that kind of gives off a negative connotation. Probably shouldn't say that. Lots of good cosplay. Deadpool was really good. I saw a really good Groot and Yondu. All of that stuff I thought was awesome. The exhibit hall, despite overcrowding, was awesome. A lot of the panels we got into was awesome. The fact that we were in the same room as like Tom Cruise, Schwarzenegger, Mark Hamill, Taron Egerton, Kevin Conroy. I mean, that was a sight to behold. That's something I will never forget. And San Diego itself is a very nice city. We even went to Fashion Valley. We only went there briefly because we went to the AMC there. We went to go see The Lion King, which our review as a group is up on the Cinemania page as well. I haven't done a solo review. I'll be doing that probably sometime this week. So my camera died, had to charge it up. But yeah, I mean, The Lion King. So we saw The Lion King, Fashion Valley, AMC. A really nice AMC. Quick thoughts on The Lion King. I thought it was okay. I gave it the same score I gave the Aladdin live-action remake, but I'd rather watch Aladdin and Dumbo over The Lion King, because there's at least, even though Aladdin has a lot of the same stuff, there's enough to differentiate it from the original one, and Dumbo's like a completely new movie, and I really like that about Dumbo. The Lion King is literally just a shot-for-shot remake, so I just thought it was okay. It wasn't something I loved or hated. It was just kind of there. But those are just quick thoughts on The Lion King. The beaches were really nice. There was a dog beach there. We went to that. I got tackled by a hyperactive dog who was not even that big. He was just hyper. And then we recorded our show. Our Airbnb was really nice, although the only bad part is we didn't know it was right next to the airport. So all night and all morning, all we heard was planes taking off and landing. It became kind of annoying after a while, but that's our fault. We didn't know that it was right next to the airport. So, but I mean, I loved everything about this trip, despite a few minor issues with Hall H and the exhibit hall being a little overcrowded. The Amazon Prime experience, the stunt show was really good, but the fact that we waited in line for the Expanse experience, and it was only like 5 minutes, complete waste of time. Don't do that. If they do it next year, please don't do that. But the fact that we were pressed, we got a lot of benefits. You know, we didn't have to pay for our passes. We got our own press room that we shared with other press members. But by own press room, I mean the press just had their own room. And I mean, we got to meet a lot of people. We went to the movie trivia Schmodown. Mark Ellis and Christian Harlaw. Josh McCouga was actually in the row in front of me, so that was cool seeing a bunch of people from Collider. That was a really fun show. We all dug that. It was just a really interesting experience. And again, like, I didn't want to leave. None of us wanted to leave. We were just so blown away by the West Coast compared to the East Coast. Like, I want to live on the West Coast. And I got to give props to whoever designed San Diego. You did it in a grid system, just like New York is a grid system. Whoever the moron is that decided to put a road on top of a road in Boston, you're a moron. Just saying. It's a lot easier to navigate than Boston. And, I mean, it's cool because it's like a city plopped in the middle of a mountain. and you can just see the hills and stuff. Like down. It's like all of a sudden you just go into downtown San Diego and you're in a city. It's it's really, really interesting. I really enjoyed every minute of this except waiting in that line for the Expanse. But, I mean, we know what to expect next year with Hall H, the exhibit hall, all that stuff. When we go back, we're definitely going back. We're definitely going back. This is my second ever Comic-Con. I went to the Boston one in 2015. This is the first time we've done San Diego, my first time on the West Coast, and I was very impressed. So really happy about that. Check out my review of The Lion King. I should have that up this week, hopefully. If not, I mean, don't hold it against me. You just got my brief thoughts in this video. So if there's no review of that, there may or may not be. I'm definitely going to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I cannot wait to see that, especially because it's Tarantino. I mean, that's just some stuff. I wanted to give you guys an update. I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted, and I just wanted to share my experience of San Diego Comic-Con with you guys and just how much fun we had. And I'm glad we had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.